Alright guys, how's it going? It's Tuesday again. Yeah, you're just doing alright. Been another week with a new week of printmaking we're going to be having a go at. Yeah, good to see you all doing classwork as always on the forums and whatnot. So today, guys, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some more printing. We did our lino cuts last week and the week before. So this time, I'm going to do something where you can do with pretty much any found object around the house. We're going to be making a collagraph, pardon me, which is basically like a 3D collage onto a piece of card or a flat surface that is glued down, and yeah, you can get many prints from it. It's like a mono print that goes a bit further. So yeah, what we're going to do is, or what we're going to need is we need some glue, or some general PVA glue that you'll have kicking around the house. I'm using an old bit of mount board, just from a picture frame. Any surface will do. If you use cardboard, it might, when we press it, or when we print it, the corrugated card might come through, which might give a better effect. Entirely up to you. We need our general inks, and we need a paintbrush. So also we need stuff to kind of stick down on this paper, okay, or this card, this plate. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't got any of that stuff yet, so I do the same thing as I am. I'm going to go out for a quick walk, and I'm going to find and scavenge around for some stuff with some nice texture to it. Could be string, could be plants, could be moss would be quite good. Anything with a surface that we can stick, but which has a nice feel to it. If you've got anything around the house you want to use, like lace or any old fabrics, that would be awesome as well. So I'm going to jump onto this, I'm going to go out for a walk, and I'm going to catch you in a bit. Right. Thorn! Okay, so being on my little walk, I went around the park. So as you can probably guess, the park has lots of greenery, lots of flowers, lots of twigs, lots of things like that. So that's the kind of stuff that I got. So while walking through, I kind of realised that I miss being out and about in the outdoors, in the mountains and the trees. So I figured that would make a nice little treescape, or a mountainscape, or something along those lines. So what you wanted to do is, I found some moss as well, which is going to be super cool to get the textures of the ground. Oh, fancy. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to have a play around with laying out the our subjects onto the card, or your cardboard, or your paper, whatever you're using as a print. I've also got some masking tape which we can kind of manipulate and get that extra bit more of a surface. Once I'm going to have a play around with this now, speed this up. Once I've got it, we'll start gluing it on, and then that's the start of our print. Our mixture of PVA to water is probably 9. I've gone for about 9 parts PVA to 1 part water. I just want it as thick and glossy as possible, so we can carry on cleaning the plate and using the plate as soon as we're done, and so the ink will slide straight off. Fingers crossed. Always an experiment with us doing print, eh? Right, so I'm going to speed up. I'm going to have a rearrange of what's going to be looking like, hopefully, and then yeah, we'll get on it in a sec. So guys, that's what I've got so far. It's just a quick layout. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a bit of an experiment to figure out how these materials work. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to start gluing that down by simply, as you would glue normally. Once you've got your arrangement, I'm going to stick some on the bottom, get it to stick down, and then once it's all stick down, I'm going to give it a layer on the top, just to give it that extra stick, and make sure that it's in the places that we want it. Okay, this glue is going to also harden up, obviously, and it's going to put a nice sheen on the top, so once we're inking and getting rid of all the ink, we'll quickly clear that off. I'm going to carry on with this, and then our next step is to make sure that it's dry. So you're going to ink it up, glue it up, then you're going to let it dry for a couple of hours, and then it's going to be ready to print. All right, catch you in a sec. Okay guys, we have our collagraph plate. Yeah, so what I've done is I've just obviously put the layer of glue down and just kind of laid it to make it seem like a lovely little landscape, or the edge of a cliff or something. I'm guessing that's what I'm going to get from there. We'll see. It's all about the process as always. If you're like me and you get bored of it waiting for drying bored of it to dry in the sun, what I did was I just got a hairdryer and just had a quick go over it for about 5 minutes, and I kind of got everything. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the final little bit of glue. Okay, it's pretty solid, nothing's fallen off it, but as you can see, some bits are kind of loose. That's only the layer of glue is just to preserve it for as long as possible, so it'll when we go through a press or when we print it off, these bits won't peel off and we won't have to keep gluing it back on. Which can be quite annoying. So what you'll be doing, guys, is literally the same as before, but just a bit more. You don't want to put too much on because you don't want to lose the patterns, but definitely with a brush, you're going to go over everything that you've got, making sure that each and every little bit of this print of these surfaces are covered, but not too covered that they'll lose the texture. All right, so going forward, this will be just make sure that the print or the plate itself stays intact when we're printing, because we're going to have a number of little printing techniques. I think we're going to use a scrim and we're going to use a roller. We'll use a scrim for those who don't have rollers at home, but I have just received a message from one of our lovely managers that's sending out the print packets pretty soon, so that'll be good. Okay, so I'm just going to cover all this, guys. I'll speed up the video as always, and then I'll catch you when we're ready to print. Okay, keep going, stay cool. So guys, it's all been covered in glue, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that for a couple of hours to dry. I wouldn't take the hairdryer to this, just let it dry itself. And then we should be ready to go and print, okay? Smashing. I'll catch you in a couple of hours. Hopefully it's still light. Bye. So guys, that plate's just drying off. It's going to take a good couple of hours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you there for the day. It's going to take a bit longer than expected to dry off, and we'll have a go at doing some different printing techniques next week. So if you have any ideas what you want to do, give us a shout in the comments. Again, you're always doing amazing. I don't want these videos to last too long, just because, you know, the 20-minute video is going to be quite a long thing to watch. So we'll grab you next week to get these printed off. You should be having some kits sent out this week to you guys who are getting them. Let me know what you wanted to be doing with them as well. And yeah, have an awesome week, guys, and see you soon. Yeah, bye, peace out, all my love. Wah!